ladies and gents, welcome to CGX, and this is US Air Force reveals secret B-2 ship hunting upgrade. I guess B-2s are gonna have a ship hunting capabilities. Alright, I guess this is pointed towards China and the supercarrier that they just put near Taiwan. Symbolism, this is all symbolism, right? Like this news broke out now when China is putting their aircraft carrier near Taiwan. All right. So I'm guessing, quick sync, that was the missile. I'm guessing that's what's going to be fitted into this one. Or is it a new one? I don't know. It's going to be interesting. This is my channel Sandbox. Let's do this one.
The time today, but this is big news. The US just very quietly revealed a secret ship hunting capability for the B-2 Spirit stealth bomber that may not draw a ton of headlines, but I promise you will get the attention. So let's talk about what I mean. Yesterday afternoon, the US Air Force announced that the B-2 Spirit can launch Lockheed Martin's AGM-158C long-range anti-ship missiles. We usually call them LRASMs, and they announced it by dropping...
Ooh, this is the one they used to hunt down those drone carriers from Iran. That's the one, right? Ship hunting LRASMs, yeah.
Pictures of the bomber already doing it in a live-fire SYNC-X, or ship sinking exercise, conducted in the Western Pacific. Now, it's usually pretty easy to keep tabs on what weapons have been integrated into what aircraft, because, well, there's a lot more that goes into incorporating new bombs and missiles than just strapping them to the jet. Adding a new weapon to a bomber like the B-2 starts with software changes and mission system integration, then physical and mechanical integration that includes mounting hardware, connector buses, and drop tests to make sure that the weapon deploys properly and isn't flung back into the aircraft by the slipstream. And then there's a bunch of flight testing that ultimately leads to eventual operational certification. It's a process that often takes years to complete and costs a ton of cash. So as a result, we usually know about a new weapon being integrated into combat aircraft like the F-35 or B-2 a long time before the aircraft can ever actually drop one. And as a good example, we are now at least 19 months into just flight testing that very same missile on the F-35C, and so far, they've only completed the first phase of flight testing. But as I often remind you, the US is pretty good at keeping airplane-shaped secrets, and it turns out America's heavy payload stealth bomber clearly started integration work on this weapon even earlier than the F-35. So much earlier that it is already slinging them at a decommissioned Austin-class amphibious assault ship, the former USS Juno, and credit to the war zone for getting PAC-AF to disclose the vessel. So why is this such a big deal? Well, the AGM-158C LRASM is arguably the most advanced and capable of Lockheed Martin's stealthy joint air-to-surface standoff missile line. Honestly, it's probably the most capable anti-ship cruise missile in the world. This weapon is designed to have a small...
Yeah, I remember, reading about that, and I'm like, anyone in Lockheed Martin would have felt so justified when they realize that only one or two LRASMs basically took out an entire naval drone capabilities of Iran during the operation. Because it just took out the drone carrier, the big tanker that they turned into a carrier like that with these missiles. Now, usually that kind of precision, that kind of stealth, and that kind of a kill shot to a big tanker type ship like that, that's impressive. Right? So yeah, obviously this is like one of the most advanced jet-launched cruise missile there is. And yeah, putting that on B-2 implies you can put a lot of them in B-2. So B-2s can just go in and take out ships left and right. Obviously this is more targeted toward China. Like China can't really do anything about B-2, at least not directly, right? China can detect B-2 probably, but we probably won't be able to target it because B-2 is one of the most stealthiest thing there is. Now it has like boat killing capabilities. It can take out a lot of naval targets before China can do anything about it.
all radar cross-section and is powered by an air-breathing turbofan engine, just like a fighter jet, and that allows it to skim the wavetops as it closes with targets from upwards of 575 miles away, where it delivers a 1,000-pound penetrating blast fragmentation warhead that's designed to penetrate the exterior hull of a ship before detonating with the explosive equivalent of 50 Hellfire missiles. That's more power than the Mark 48 heavy torpedoes carried by American attack submarines. But believe it or not, I haven't even gotten to the scary part yet. You see, the LRASM was designed to fly and hunt autonomously in collaborative packs, using a combination of advanced onboard sensors and artificial intelligence. The missile uses GPS-supported inertial navigation to reach a general target area, meaning it can navigate even in jammed environments. But then, once it reaches the vicinity of that enemy fleet, it switches over to onboard infrared electro-optical sensors.
Yeah, that basically matches the image, right? Like the image, it knows of the image and it basically matches it.
That very literally see the ships ahead of it. It then uses an onboard data link to prioritize and distribute targets among the missiles in the swarm for maximum effect. And then it uses those same electro-optical sensors to identify the most vulnerable point on its assigned ship for it to make impact.
Oh my god, so it's doing its thinking. This is not just a missile, this is a platform at a level, because it's doing its own thinking. It is finding the best area to attack, how to do it, scanning the area, literally seeing it with their optical eyes. Yeah, when America says this is the most advanced jet launch cruise missiles, you know what that means. If America is saying that, this is insane.
Impact. And while details about this newly announced capability are pretty limited right now, the LRASM has the exact same exterior form factor as its sister weapon, the AGM-158B JASSM Extended Range, an air-to-surface weapon designed to strike stationary targets. And we know that the B-2 can carry 16 of those. So that means a single stealth bomber can now launch a whole pack of 16 stealthy AI-enabled cruise missiles at Chinese fleets from literally hundreds of miles away without anyone ever even knowing it was there. And of course, when the B-2 wants to get a bit closer to those Chinese ships, well, it can then turn to Boeing's new anti-ship JDAM cruise missile from upwards of 345 miles out, or the glide bomb version from 45 miles out. In other words, the B-2 might just be the scariest ship hunting platform on the planet today, and we didn't even know about it until yesterday. And with that, ends yet another edition of Air Power from Sandbox News. I'm Alex Hollings. Make sure to swing by sandboxnews.com to...
Yeah, so quick sync, basically one missile, basically entire crushing even like a big air destroyer or frigate, whatever, even aircraft carrier with the right missile, maybe two of them. So quick sync can do that, so big one. And also this, right? Lockheed's ship hunting, most advanced cruise missile, jet launched. Yeah, this is insane. B-2's carrying this, because remember, when things goes really bad and USF wants complete stealth, they need to bomb something, B-2 is the only answer right now. F-22 are not bombers. F-35 maybe can act as a bomber, but that's not really efficient. B-2 is the bomber. And that is the one thing you use to bomb, and it's the stealthiest of them all. I guess until B-21 arrives. So B-2 with the insane amount of ship hunting missiles on it, quick sinks, LRASMs, all this, multiple of them, can take out multiple entire fleet of ships. A carrier group, if they are going against China, it can take out Chinese carrier group before China can do anything about it. Let's say China has 3 aircraft carrier group. Great. The formation of B-2 can just take out an entire group. One by one, China has no aircraft carrier left. That's the level of power this is. Because you can't really target B-2 like that. I'm not saying B2 can be targeted, period. Not the way it operates, right? And B2 has that superpower. We've seen in Iran how it worked, right? How it just like glided in and blew everything up during Midnight Hammer. And yeah, obviously we'll be accompanied by F-22s and F-35s. This is power right here. Right, but there you go. If you like my next one, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.